Not every beautiful moment arrives loudly. Some quietly become the highlights you remember the most. Every day unfolded something worth pausing for and appreciating. Here are some day wise glimpses from this experience.
Experiences about you, about your personal life, maybe what's there, and about movies that you see. It's nice to know from you.
So at the outset, let me say that there is no speech prepared. Another conversation I had with Bhavna is that it's just going to be a 45-minute session of one person just talking. Because those are very boring. I tried to get something to play over here from my movies, etc. But given the connectivity of this, it was a big problem. So I am going to begin by answering a question that Ane had asked me right in the beginning. This session is very short. In 45 minutes, I will not be explained to you. In fact, I feel my lifetime is also short. In my lifetime, I will also not know the answer of that question. But I'll try to say it in a simple way that you understand. Okay, Ane? You write a story first. Like your mama tells you a story at night. Does she? Yeah, so then there is that way of telling a story. There is another way of telling a story on the screen. So you write that story first, then in that story you have characters. You know, you have a rich man, a poor man, a bad guy, a good penguin, all these things, right? So then after you write the story, you meet these actors and ask them to play the characters, to act as the characters of that film. Okay? You get that? Then you write what they are going to say. All of that I do. Right? So then we get together, they say those lines, and we have a camera, like the camera on your phone. So we roll that camera, and then I call action. I've got only one job, that is to call action. So I call action, and they all start saying their line, doing whatever they have been asked to. Somebody has to sit, somebody has to stand, somebody has to slap somebody, all of those things, okay? Like in a story. So they play the story out, we record it in a camera, and then we put that, there is a technique of putting that on the screen. Whatever we had shot in the camera, we put that on the screen, and then here you go in a theater like this, you watch it. So that is basically how movies are made.
Yes, and I knew it before.
We knew it before.
Thank God it's not very so simple.
Yes, I think people.
Yes, I think I will rely a lot on questions.
It
on
would be
just
nice
on
if we have an
questions.
engagement. So
Yeah.
we all, I'm very sure of everyone wants to know something, what happens at the back end, and you have questions yourself. So it will be nice if we can have an engagement with Imtiaz.
Yes, sir.
My name is Dushin Shah. My question is that you came across the characters which you have portrayed in your Jab We Met. You came across in real life that kind of characters, and how you, decided about the star casting based on that.
As far as Jab We Met is concerned, it's not as though I met those particular people or people exactly like that. I think one of the most loved characters from any of my films is Geet Dillon from Jab We Met. Fact of the matter is that I have not really met a person who is like that exactly. But in life, when you meet people, some part of them stays on in your imagination. You don't know the rest of them. You cook that up with your imagination. You fill that with your imagination. You don't know that you're doing this, But when you start writing, it starts to flow in that direction, you know. After writing a few scenes or after writing the whole film, I have to think back and wonder where this character is coming from. Much like you want to know, I also want to know. Then I go back and then I realize that I've met, for instance, I've met a lot of extremely talkative girls, and for some reason, most of them were from Punjab. I've met these girls in Delhi because I've done college over there. People who talk incessantly, and not only talk, but they feel that it is their duty to pass on the brilliant ideas that God is giving into their brain with so much rapidity, and they have to talk that fast to bring it out to the rest of humanity, because it's like service to mankind. You know,
There are many characters like
there are many characters like that, and so that is why Geet Dillon talks fast. That is why those people talk fast that I have met. But there is a particular person called Geet Dillon also. I have grown up in Jamshedpur, and there was a girl who was senior to us, and but this was not her character at all. Her name was very good for this part. So this is how things come together. Incidentally, in Jamshedpur, there was also a guy called Aditya Kashyap, that is Shahid's name in the film. I did not even realize that I've used his name. It's only later, after the release of the film, when people from Jamshedpur said that, is that guy like Aditya Kashyap from Jamshedpur? I said, well, that's coincidental. So yeah, there are bits of various people that remained with me, and while I was writing, all that came through. It's not exactly based on any one person.
My another question is that how you are different from your father in filmmaking.
Actually, there is this misnomer that I'm Muzaffar Ali's son. I'm actually not his son. But whenever I'm in Lucknow going to a restaurant, I always tell them that I am Muzaffar Ali's son because they serve better food.
Good.
Good afternoon. I'm Harish Tarwani. Sir, you shortlist the character first, or you take the story and then accordingly you select the characters?
Always the story first. Always the story first. Write the story, finish it, and then start looking for actors to cast in that film.
Yes, you have always been. So story is something that you have been doing all over. So you do entire stories, your idea, your creativity that comes out.
Actually, I would like to change that, but up till now, all the films that I have made are all stories written by me. Dialogue, screenplay, everything written by me.
So it's a story plus direction and production, and also now that you are producing films yourself.
I don't want to be like Manoj Kumar like that much. So I think I'll try to change that. I'm actually always looking to collaborate with other writers. But that has not been possible because ever since I was a kid, I used to do school plays, theatre in school. And in the 9th standard or 10th standard, what used to happen is, for instance, there's Teacher's Day and the teacher would say, somebody should do a skit. So I was that person in school that would do the skit.
Drama. All the drama.
All the drama. And then I would write a small skit, get my friends to do acting in that, and I would present it. So I'm still doing that in a way. So the process of writing begins the process of direction for me. But increasingly I feel that I'm more and more looking for writers to collaborate with.
Since you mentioned about school and growing up, I read about an incident that changed your life when you were growing up in school. Something about that you want to talk?
It could have been the 9th standard failure. Yeah, there's thankfully great merit in failure. And I feel that the big jolt that I felt in my life was when I actually failed in the 9th standard and I had to repeat the class. And I was very conscious, very sensitive as a kid. And it was the most terrible time for me to go to school, to see my batchmates having become senior and these younger junior people becoming my classmates. I was so embarrassed that for the first 4 days actually I could not enter the school. I was standing outside the gate and coming back home. But so I think that jolted me, and that jolted me into starting to use my mind and trying to be in a situation that I never have to face this embarrassment again. I think that really helped me in life.